G'day guys, welcome back to the channel to today's video where I want to do a dive watch lume comparison. Lume or luminescent materials, obviously an important feature in dive watches, and because I came across this watch recently, this is a Ginault Ocean Rover with its gold sand lume, something that is not produced by Swiss SuperLuminova like many high-end Swiss watches. I wanted to do a comparison because there's been some raving about that the company do describe it as an excellent lume that they went to very great lengths to acquire to be able to use in your watches. So let's do a comparison and really find out how good it is. So in this range of watches, I have over on the left an Invicta Pro Diver, in this case represented by my 8926 with scalloped edge bezel here. Okay, just the very standard 40mm black and white type of color sub homage. Okay, so that's the Invicta over on the left with the Tritnite lume. So Invicta, they call their lume Tritnite. I guess they might as well call it rubbish or something like that, because really that's what I've found to be consistently the case with their watches. So let's see how it stacks up in this particular comparison. This one is of course my Seiko SKX, my beloved SKX with Seiko's Lumibrite, and Lumibrite is pretty good. All of you who may have had watches, various dive watches from Seiko, you will probably find that Lumibrite is a very good lume, particularly as they usually tend to apply it in generous amounts, as they do in this particular example. Okay, I've got here on my Blue Shark Bond NATO strap there. And then of course we have the Ginault Ocean Rover. This is my, I guess, black bezel version with gold sand lume and date, that I've reviewed a little while back. You can check out the full review separately if you wish. And then an example of SuperLuminova, and this, my Oris Aquastate in 43mm, really is an excellent watch, excellent lume performance I've always found. I think obviously again lume is slightly a function of amount, and this one is generously applied in this rectangular swaths around the dial there. So this is always something I've found to be of good performance lume wise. It really is very good. So I put that really on the right there in somewhat arbitrary sense, because I know this one is bad, I know this one is very good. And Seiko is very good as well, but I think not quite at the level of this particular watch. And then I've put the Ginault there somewhat arbitrarily. So what I'm going to do, or what I have done in fact, is to place these all in a line and to charge it up. And this time I'm going to charge it up with this particular torch here. Now this is a very super bright LED torch, available very easily. You can get this for around 15 bucks. I'll put some links there for where you might be able to purchase this, Amazon particularly. And just to show you, I'll just shine it off screen here. It is phenomenally bright. It's blinding if you look at it. So just as an example, I'll just shine it on the Seiko here, and you can see it. You can see it just charging that up. Let's kind of going, and you can see it's really charging that up like no one's business. Anything that you shine this in just for a few seconds. Okay, so I'm going to put it all in a line, charge it up, and then take it in sequence photos. Now again, I need to explain that when you do lume shots and when you do comparison lume shots, you need to have a consistent exposure. So I'm using my Sony RX100 Mark II. I've set the exposure at half a second at f2.8 aperture with ISO 3200. So that's the settings I use in this camera, and that gives me a good lume shot on the burst. And then of course as it fades, it will kind of let it get darker and darker as the lume loses. So I'm going to take photos at the initial burst, then 15-minute intervals up to an hour, and that's what you see. First is a setup shot, and then you'll see 4 photos at 15-minute intervals after the initial burst. So let's go to the slideshow, show you how it performs, and then we'll come back to talk about the results. Okay, so there we go. Now we're back from the slideshow. You've seen the results, and hopefully you don't find it too surprising. You know, Invicta fades out very quickly. You know, after the first 15 minutes or so, I found that really it faded out very much more compared to the others. You know, Lumibrite again performed very well, but I think in the end, this one, at the hour mark anyway, this one was noticeably brighter than the rest. This one, pleasingly, is at least as good as Lumibrite. You know, so that's what I found from this test, and that's what I feel in everyday use with this watch as well. I don't think it's quite as good as SuperLuminova, but it's certainly very good, and I think comparable to Lumibrite. So there we go. That's my take on the Ginault Gold Sand Lume in comparison with SuperLuminova and Lumibrite, as well as I guess a token Invicta Tritnite there. Let me know what you think, what your experiences are with various Lume you know, on watches. Check out my original Lume video if you haven't already. Guys, if you appreciate my videos, do consider subscribing. I'm learning new things about horology all the time, and I share it right here on the channel, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for watching, and as always, I will catch you next time.